Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
All right. Good night, good night, good night, good night. I don't know, I had some technical difficulties just now, but welcome to another episode of M.A.L.E.S podcast. I think I've lost track of the amount of episodes, but obviously, I am here. I am your host, The Voice, with me, Wes, tonight. Right here is Wally. We also have Ryan with us tonight, and we are joined by, a virgin. And when I say virgin, I mean a virgin on the show, not, what's going on in their personal business, but we're joined by PG as well. Or I don't know if I have her, or she'll be on shortly. But what's going on, gentlemen? How we doing?
I'm good.
Good, good, good,
Resting.
good.
All right, so we have a big topic. We have a big topic that we want to talk about. We were supposed to be joined by, professional guidance counselor, social worker, but unfortunately she had a tragedy. Her father passed away. So as a result of that, she had to take some time out, to get away from it. But, you know, as the saying goes, the show must go on, right? So, we have to go on and we have to talk about it. And so we're gonna start with. Oh, here's PG, by the way. PG,
Hi,
good
good
night.
night. Good
All
night.
right. Yes, I was just saying that we're going to go in and we're definitely going to talk about quote unquote rape culture that we have, or that individuals believe that we have here in Jamaica. I really want you guys to talk about it, but before, obviously, I would like the producer to put up what rape culture is, so that we can have, you know, a, a grown, where we're talking about, and it's really saying that rape culture is an environment in which rape is prevalent and in which sexual violence against women is normalized and excused in media and popular culture. So, Ryan, I'm going to start with you, right? I'm going to start with you, and I want you to tell me, do you believe that Jamaica has a rape culture? If you say yes, why? If you say no, why?
All right. Good night, everyone. Um, heavy topic tonight. So based on your question and based on the definition that I am seeing on the screen, I'm seeing different points that defines rape culture. And when I look at each point, I see Jamaica mentioned in all of them. So yes, Jamaica does have a rape culture based on the definition.
All right, all right. So we'll just have to leave it this for now. Wally, I'll go to you. Same question for you. You're in Jamaica for how much 10 years. Rape culture is something that has been associated with Jamaica for as long as I can remember. And so I just want to know, do you believe that Jamaica have a rape culture?
Yes, we do. Yes, we do. Unfortunately.
Okay. And PG, as the lone female for now that is here, there is, normally when they talk about quote unquote rape culture, is normally to women, because obviously that can happen to men as well, but it's not as talked about as women. So as a woman, do you believe that Jamaica has a rape culture?
Definitely. I
Definitely.
definitely believe we have a rape culture and we enable it as well. So yeah, I definitely think it exists.
All right, so I'm going to start with you right there. So when you say we enable it, are you saying we as the Jamaican population, we as Jamaican men, we as Jamaican women, who really and truly push forward rape culture, and if you can probably give us a little example so that we can try and have an understanding of what we're talking about and what barriers are we really measuring.
I think it starts from in the homes. I think females are taught from a very tender age not to do certain stuff, not to wear this short skirt, not to wear this tight clothes because things will happen to you. So we're already telling our young daughters that, hey, the men will prey on you if you dress this particular way, but yet still we don't try to interject at the men level, if you understand what I'm saying. We're
Mm-hmm.
always we're always trying to get our females to conform and to per, per just to behave in a particular way that going suit, that going keep us safe in a sense.
Mm-hmm.
So I think that's where it started. I think it starts from in the homes, and yeah, that's why we are where we are now.
All right, Ryan. So you hear PG is saying that um you hear PG is saying that, hey, as you grow, you start 1 year old, 2 year old, you start to grow to an adult. Your parents tell you, hey, don't wear that skirt, don't wear that shorts, don't wear that tights. Those leggings where the females love wear a big shirt. You have to wear a big shirt over your leggings because you don't want quote unquote show up your private parts. And what PG is initially saying is that, hey, it's really to protect the woman against men. So as a man, how do you agree? Do you agree with her? And is it something that you see changing in the future? Is it something that you see can change? Or is it just something that we just have to deal with as a culture?
Well, yes, I agree with her. And I also agree that you see the thing with change is not a 0 to 100 kind of thing. It's an incremental thing. So I think each generation, things have changed, especially where rape culture is concerned. Because if you listen to some of the old time song, them you hear man talk, oh, she is just 16 years old, leave her alone, they say. And those kind of songs were making, and those kind of songs were normal back in the 80s and 90s. People
Mm-hmm.
sing them out the same way. But when we listen to it, we say, yo, this kind of sus a certain way. And we don't really have our artists that making songs like those as much as they would have. So I think there is some change along that line. And um, I think there will be more change as we go along. And we are here discussing it now. So that in itself represents that there is a change going on because at least we identify it. Both genders are here and we identify it and we see that this is a problem. So, in my estimation, yes, more changes will be done as we go on, and based on the definition of what rape culture is, PG is also correct in saying that women are taught to do this, do that. However, they don't try to teach the boys how to behave around women or to, if a girl say no, you leave her alone and those kind of things. They are not taught those kind of things. There's maybe some possessive kind of thing that is a part of our culture where a man feel if him start talk to a girl or a man a girl that talk for how long and him give her money or whatever, that there's some ownership involved. And I think that also lends into the rape culture based on the definition that was put up.
All right, so let me ask you a question, and I'm going to read Mika's comment in a second. But let me ask you a question because there's a particular song that resonates with me when you talk about rape culture. And this is a person, that is loved by Jamaican people, both old and young, right? So I think Buju Banton have a song, and there's a line in it to say,
I
I
forget
like
her
me say,
about
That
girl,
gunpoint.
one point,
yeah,
yeah, that
girl,
one
me
point
see,
line.
rust me, I
Yeah.
forget you, right? And if you go in a party, if you go in a club, if you go in your house, everybody, woman, man, child, dog, everyone is singing that part loud, and no one has really take a step to say, hold on, I forget to even buy gunpoint, you know. So
Yeah.
a question, Ryan, do you believe that because again, if they say that music push violence, then we also have to admit say the music have pushed the quote unquote rape culture as well. So is it a thing where we probably now have to step back and put some censor on this kind of music?
I think that music is a representation of society. So if a person singing that kind of lyrics, it basically represents that exists in the society. Because you you hardly or never hear anybody singing about stuff that don't happen because it must come from somewhere for you to think of it. So you're basically thinking about and basically saying or representing what is happening in the broader society. So yes, as I pointed out earlier,
Mm-hmm.
if a kind of song like that make today, we bash it. So it basically represents that there is some change, even though we are not where we want to be, because yes, rap culture still permeates our society, and it depends on the socio-economic backgrounds and all those kind of things. Basically, is a part of why rape culture exists because if you look at certain sectors, certain lifestyle, people who live certain lifestyle, live in certain areas and so forth, you realize that that culture is more there and it is
Mm-hmm.
more normalized there because sometimes you hear say, I don't we see a girl want a girl, some of the get her regardless of her age and those kind of things. We hear those kind of things talk about in society a lot. So it
Mm-hmm.
basically shows that it is it still permeates the society and it is still numb to a lot of people. Even though we are here talking about it, it don't mean that we 100% represent the majority or whatever it might be.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that is that.
All right. So Mika is saying, put up Mika. So Mika is saying, I agree with PG. Can't go gym in peace a daytime in a gym where the amount of harassment I have to face. And
Yeah.
listen, and I'll be honest, man. And I think it's a whole society thing because when me go to the gym, when I go, I think I probably do it probably with my eyes then. Seeing instead, but I'm not really saying nothing. But when you go to the gym, and you know those new kind of, I don't know, Wally, you probably can tell me them new leggings that will come out where the woman them are wearing. You know them new thing that will come out. I mean, listen, come on, you gotta look, right? So, but even when you look and if you are quote unquote the woman I make for, you know, it kind of put her in an uncomfortable position to be like, damn, like I can't even just come at the gym with this. And then now it kind of put her in a situation where boy probably may have to go wear something a little less comfortable for me, but it will take the eyes off of me. So I don't think, and I guess it go back to PG and Mika's points, it kind of put women in a little uncomfortable spot because even when quote unquote, I could put the other way around now, when men wear the little short, something them go to the gym and all of them, privates out the door and so I've never really quote unquote see a woman a look pan because I wear that to the gym before. I've never seen a woman look pan me like a steer me down like that. But I see men do it on the other hand. But Wally, go ahead, boss. I want you to tell me. I want you to tell me what you think about exactly what PG said when she said that she believed that women are the only ones that are being taught how to act, but men aren't.
All right. We want to have a balanced discussion. So let me start with what PG said first. So what you said is absolutely correct. One of the things that causes this culture to perpetuate is basically the objectifying of women, right? As a society, what the thought process is that a woman is somebody to be pursued and conquered. And that's one. And then two, the mentality is once I show interest, me supposed to get that woman. And that is how a lot of times the rape and the sexual assault come in because you hear it all the time, a man, psst, babes, whatever. And if the woman hold her head straight, them start tell her all kind of bad word, say she smell bad, say she ugly, like all kind of negative thing, just because the woman doesn't give them at the time of day, and that really speaks to an attitude of entitlement. And all of the guys around them know, them are both them up and say, yeah man, for real, run with the idiot girl, etc., etc. So we have a very serious problem as men in terms of how we look at women. I heard I was reasoning with a lady, and she was saying, boy, there are a lot of men who, if a woman didn't have a vagina, they would have no use for them because they only see a woman as a walking vagina. And unfortunately, a lot of times that is the mentality that prevails. So we really have a far way to go. We're also talking about rape. We also have a big issue in terms of statutory rape, right? Which is having,
Hold on, Wally. So before you go there, right?
yeah.
So you say we have a far way to go. But what I want to ask is, where do we start? Because we can say, okay, the conversation is a start, but is it truly a start? Because after the conversation, then what?
All right, so we have to look at re-socialization, and it have a start in the home. So we have to start, as again it come back to the broken homes, the lack of father. So if you don't have that father figure saying, okay, this is how you should treat a woman is to be valued, a woman is more than her vagina, a woman is somebody, so who should be cherished, who should be protected, etc. All you have around is boy, girl in a bungle, and try to get the most girl. So all a woman is, based on the socialization, is a release. So it have a start in the home. That's the first thing, where we
Okay.
re-social one, and then two, the persons of influence, the artists. you know a lot of artists have a lot of influence. They also have to play a significant part in this process as well. The media as well also has to play a process where that is concerned. So don't celebrate the pop star, the superstar who have thousands of sex partners. Celebrate the man who is faithful to his wife for 10-15 years. You don't get those guys being pushed
But
forward.
but the thing is, Wally, and that's an excellent point, right? And I want us to stay right there. And Jay is here, so I want to get Jay in as well, and I want to get PG's comment on that. But Wally, the thing is, when you look at that, right? When a man is faithful to his wife 10, 15 years, that is boring. What is there to talk about? That's boring. However, when a man is out there cheating and have a girl in a bungle, then there is a lot of things, especially the negative things to say about it. Or am I jealous? Or am I dog shit? Or am I waste man? Or am I club? Or am I do this? Or am I do that? There's so much thing to talk about when you're doing something that is what you're really and truly not supposed to be doing. But when you're doing the right thing, it is boring. Just like if a man a thief and a man honest. Which one you think will get more highlight? The one where a thief. Because that are just quote unquote the more interesting thing, the better thing to talk about. Because where we're going to talk about somebody that's honest, there's so much we can talk about. Okay, he's honest, that's it. But when somebody is stealing, there's a lot of things that they can segue into. And I'm not saying it's a good thing. Obviously, it's a bad thing. But that is just how I see how the world is viewed.
No, but
Similarly, all right, go ahead.
no, but you see, that's a false notion for lazy journalism. Because I all right, Nesbitt song, right? We hear the argument all the time. Boy, people don't like good music. People don't like conscious music.
Yep,
People like the slapness, the undergirl, etc., etc., etc.
yep.
All right. I remember when Romy and Virgo was rising star contestant, right? Emancipation Park, the show was at 7, and Emancipation Park full from 3:30,
All
right?
right.
So once you have substance, then you will be able to garner the attention of the masses. Vibes got Cartel. One of his songs that was playing for weeks on ER Top 10, Emergency. Right? It was a quality song, but a lot of these artists are very lazy, and a lot of these news media outlets are very lazy. They don't want to do good journalism and get the good stories out there. They want to go with sensation. Susan Show has been going on for years and has had viewership. Simone Soul Session, which is recent, giving a lot of positive message and it's getting traction. It's just
All
that.
right.
Go ahead.
Wally. Okay, Wally. Fine, right? Fine. That's cool and dandy. And those people are getting traction, right? But again, let us look on it. Look on the artists them were really all right. Let me give you a perfect example. Look on this brother will come out on name Code or whatever I want name. Where I sing about ensure and all them garbage something. There. Look how much traction this man I get. But then if you look on another
Yeah, but
artist
where will he be 3 weeks time? Where will he be 3 weeks time? We've seen these cases already, We've seen these cases already where them get a hype, them have a hit song, and then them water down because
no,
there's
but
the masses move to the next quote unquote hot thing because there's no
yeah,
substance there.
yeah, but I understand that well. But what I'm saying is that why is it that these songs are even getting traction in the first place?
Exactly. Yeah.
That is my issue, It's not I say, oh, it's gonna go in 3 weeks. Fine. But why is it getting traction in the first place? Why is it so appealing to us? Like, listen, I heard that Ensure must rise $200 in a Jamaica now because of this song. Like, why is it that these things gain so much traction worldwide, nationwide? Why is it that we can't hear this song and as a society, as a culture, we say, no man, this is foolishness. Let us put away with this. Let us ban this song. Why is it that we can't do that?
No, you see, the thing is that as Ryan made an excellent point earlier, that change don't happen overnight, right? Some of the songs and some of the content that is being sung now, right?
Mm-hmm.
Back in the 80s and 90s,
Mm-hmm.
artists were more subtle with it. Now them come
Mm-hmm.
out brawling. So you took like
Mm-hmm.
almost 2 decades to get to where we were in terms of persons doing that sort of thing. So similarly, we have to start with putting the good narrative, the good stories out there, and eventually we'll get the change that we want.
All right, let me show you. And Gio, I want you to come in after this, Gio. But I'm going to put you one of the artists you want to love. Look on Idonia. You want to know one of Idonia biggest song them? Look how long I've been begging you, please, to blah, 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 blah. Right? And then when say, girl, stop it now, stop it now, stop it now. And then, but Idonia sing another song. And him say another kind of positive song. But that not get as much forward as this song. So I think that is where we have the problem. Because if an artist like either Vibes Cartel, Idonia, Movada, all of them, if them release 10 songs and them talk about what you're supposed to do with women, how you're supposed to deal with them, the position where you're supposed to put them in, that is all what we flock to. That is what we want here. That is easy
And
on the ears.
Daggerin.
Yeah, Daggerin. Oh, Daggerin never postponed. Remember, Wally, we go through a whole generation of that. But when you talk about Romain Virgo and them people, there, sure, we will hear one Romain Virgo, we hear one Christopher Martin, but we're hearing constant. Listen, we talk about RDX, we talk about Conscious, we talk about Idonia, we talk about Popcorn, we talk about every single one of them. And it's just constant, we're just hearing it. But before you respond, Wally, I'm going to give Gio a chance to talk. If there some of us want to hear what I'm to say. Gio, so we're talking about the
All
rape
right, night,
culture that we
night.
have in. Yeah, boss. Talking about the rape culture that is
And then
said to be
you
in
see where they say
Jamaica.
that is it a rape culture in Jamaica. It is a culture, yes, as regards to what's taking place. Can you hear me?
Yes,
Yeah,
man.
but
Hearing
I
you,
hear
hearing
you.
you.
Like you freeze up, my boss. So just clock out and clock back in. But let me get you in here, PG, because Wally was saying that hey, as it relates to these to what's going on now, men who 10, 15 years faithful with them wife are not being celebrated as the girls them we have 1,000, 2,000 girls. You're there on mute, PG. So come off of mute. And let me hear what you think about that.
I mean, it's true. And I think we as a society celebrate that type of culture, and it's just is what it is, which is why I feel like one of the solution is going to be is the resocialization. So I think you're going to have to start from the tender baby, this baby on the breast in a sense, because I don't know if it's going to change because as Ryan alluded to earlier, change isn't something that happens overnight. So it's going to take time for society to get to a place where this is frowned upon.
Okay.
So yeah.
All right, so PG, so another question. Well, on the wall, I make you ask her after this, but another question, PG. So obviously you said earlier, hey, mommy teach us, say, hey, don't do this, don't do that. All right? But let us be honest now. Can we say, and not putting blame on women, but can we say at times where dressing is concerned, women do a little bit too much? Can we say that?
I wouldn't agree with that.
All right, and
I
why
feel
wouldn't
like
you agree?
onus is on the men
Negative.
to control themselves. I always feel like it's the men's responsibility to control their urges and their self. Like,
all right,
it
so
don't
when you
matter
say
if a female decide to walk outside naked and she hasn't invited you into her bed or said, okay, I'm agreeing to have some sexual contact with you, then you are in no right. You have no business asking the lady or trying to get something from her.
all right, so hold on, PG. So when
She's
you say
right.
men,
She's right.
what hold on the Geo. So PG, when you say men should control themselves, what really are you referring to? Are you referring to not catcalling,
Yeah,
holding
that
your
is
head
a part of
straight?
the rape culture. That is a part of the rape culture. The catcalling is a part of the rape culture. The tooting of the horns when you're passing by, like you literally can't go on your way. The turning around of the
I
vehicle
want to say
and
something.
Hold on, Gio. Hold on, Gio.
trailing you while you're walking to wherever you're going. The walking behind you, all of those are rape culture, and I feel like all of that contributes to the issue that we have right now.
Here's a producer putting up some pictures, and listen.
Hold on.
All
So
right,
Hold
even
on.
if Yannick
You
wants to go looking like this, she's not asking for it. She's not begging for it. She's not asking for anything.
all right.
Can we agree that people should dress based? I mean, I agree, yes, that men should learn to control themselves when them say women or whatever else. But can we also agree that there is a way that we're just supposed to dress when we go into certain places?
Absolutely. Two things can be true.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. So
like
I wouldn't necessarily agree by saying that women should dress anywhere they want. No, because we can't dress anywhere we want.
Dress
When we are
no,
going
but
to
you have
certain
to
places.
understand,
You're saying dress appropriately so that what doesn't happen. Dress
No, I'm
appropriately
not saying
because
that
what?
nothing. I'm not speaking about something happening. I'm speaking to the
Okay.
sense where you said that people should dress any way they want. No, I believe that there should be boundaries for both genders in terms of how we dress, because
No, but if you decide that
we live in a
okay.
civilized society. So I can't just go out there bare chest and walk in a bank bare chest, or walk in a
but yeah,
supermarket with my without shirt and them something there. There's a way that we're supposed to dress when we go into certain places. So to say that people must dress any way at all, I disagree with that. Not
And maybe
again,
that's
not saying to, I'm not speaking to men going call to war or not. I'm just speaking about dressing in and of itself. So I don't agree with the any way you want part.
all right.
no,
okay.
as regard
What
the
Go ahead,
statement where
Gio.
she make as regards to any way, yeah, I think that's something that is wrong, but that's your belief. But
That's a
as
bit
regards to
restrictive.
places we are speaking about, like if somebody going to bank, going to church, run an errand, we can understand that. But when a man going to say based upon him action is or a woman dress, that is wrong, because look at it from this point of view. Most persons at Jamaica say them not the money. poverty a beat them. You walk past the banks, you see the man them with the money and carry it in there. Why you not go grab it? You not go grab it. And there's a next thing too again, females just report who them not wanting or who them uncomfortable, because if a man I like a taunt her and a talk to her and she feel and she not like that man, they are not fear, she go report it. But once is a man that she like, it is not stalking, it is not rape, and that are something ways is just blatantly double standard.
But
And
no, but Gio,
there are cases where
And women have the right to choose who they entertain and who they don't entertain.
true. That's what I was about to say.
So
Yeah,
That
if
was
they
a
have
about
man
to
the
is
say.
right.
your type, if a man is your
Yeah,
type,
of course they have.
is not stalking. One is your type, is not stalking.
No, I
But
wouldn't
it
say
shouldn't
if
be Gio. It
I'm
shouldn't
just
be
saying
stalking.
it shouldn't be stalking, but I'm saying women still have the right to choose who she entertains. So if it makes her uncomfortable and she decides, well, I was sexually harassed in this moment, then I feel as though she has all right too.
All
I
right.
agree.
All right. What? All right. So hold on, there, Wally. Hold on. So let's welcome Felicia. She's on a quick break, so she's giving us a couple minutes of her time. So Fel, hold on,
So yeah,
Gio, we're not here. We're asking Gio, sign out and sign back in, Gio. But Phil, you're coming at the right time, right? Because we're saying that. Well, at least I was saying that. Hey, I believe sometimes women. I'm not saying that they call it down on themselves, but I mean, come on.
so you guys
You,
you're trying to say a woman nowadays needs to dress like we're granny, right? Is that pretty
no,
much what
no,
you're
not
trying to
like a
No,
say?
granny.
no, no one said that.
No, not like a granny. No, we're saying that. Come on, man. Cover up the thing. Cover up the thing. Cover up the thing.
Not in
I
relate.
get that,
Not to say.
but
Hold on there,
a woman
Felicia.
should
Not
be
to
able
say
to be.
that. Can I? Not to say that.
Mhm.
Them you must cover it up based on the fact that to avoid men calling to but just for modesty and based on societal rules. And depends on where you're going. If you're going to the beach, you're just like you go to the beach. If you go to the bank, you're just like you go to the bank. If you go to school, you're just like you go to school. So just
It-
dress accordingly.
accordingly or conservatively, depending on where you.
Accordingly, that's what I said, not conservatively. Listen to my words.
No, that's what I said. Accordingly or conservatively, basically on what the occasion is.
All
I'm
right.
just
Sure.
Okay.
rephrasing. Yes.
So
And I don't have an issue with that. But if a woman still chooses to dress a certain way, irrespective, that's her choice, and she shouldn't feel intimidated by a man to dress the way she dresses. If that's how she wants to go out and flaunt herself every day of her life, then by all means go ahead and do it. I do understand that there's a place and time for everything. I once had a guy said to me, let a man think what is beneath. And I always took that with me. It's let a man think about what is beneath. Because yes, you have some man out there, you flaunt it, and then a man gonna be like, oh, that girl they loose, yeah, me already know what she have underneath. But if you dress accordingly or conservatively, a man may wonder, well, damn, him probably work just a little bit harder just to get that woman because he doesn't know what is beneath. It's not
But
every
Phil,
man have an idea
but
of what is beneath.
all right. So Felicia, Wally, me I gonna get in after this, Wally. But Felicia, what PG is initially saying now is that hey, it shouldn't whether a man want to know what is beneath, yes or no. It shouldn't really matter that once a woman is comfortable dressing that way. Let us take away the bank or the church or the school. Let us say she's just going to half a tree, right? And we have seen some dressing at half a tree where the bottom cheeks all the way out the door, the shirt with no bra, the nipples out there pointing out like you want to juke out the eye. We have seen it, right? So initially, do you think that hey, come on, man, you're going on the road, just put on a little bra, just dress up the thing and wear so that you know, so that it can be, because men can still quote unquote catcall whether you're doing it with bra or without bra. But I think, and I'm not defending the men. Obviously, I'm saying that it's wrong. So let me preface my comments by saying it is
Yeah.
indeed wrong. But
Mm-hmm.
men are gonna do like when they do it, it's like the men them already kind of categorize their way for say, well, the cheeks them out, the nipples them out. Boy, she really mean business. She want business. Versus similar to if you see a man in a suit, you're gonna believe that man is professional, very business oriented and all that. Versus if you see a man in a tear up pants, you're gonna believe this man is probably up to no good. Right? These are things that we believe in society. So I'm saying that you can't really quote unquote fault a man now and say, well, boy, should do this, hey. Because I think, as everyone says, we need re-socialization, but I believe it's two sides of the coin, and we have to be honest where that is concerned.
True, I agree with you. I agree with
Wally,
you.
go
If she's
ahead.
going out in a half a tree, yeah, put on a broad dress accordingly. I mean, we all know Jamaica hot, yes. But do we all have to have the butty cheeks out a door, all of that out a door? No, we don't have to dress like that to look very nice, modest. But if a woman chooses to do that, it's her con, and I don't think she should feel uncomfortable to dress that way.
All right. Wally, go ahead, boss.
And then there's a day in New York where you don't have, it's no pants day. You can just walk on the street and just your panty alone. And I think there's another day where it's no top day, something like that. You can walk with your breast out the door, all of them something.
No. That's a madness now. That's a madness now, Phil. But Wally, go ahead, Wally. Go ahead, Wally.
All right. So first of all, let me say categorically. There is nothing that a woman can wear that justifies a man raping her. Full stop.
Yeah.
So full
Agreed,
stop.
100%.
So we take that and put that one side. No, when I hear this argument that women should be free to wear what they want to wear, but at the same time they don't want any man to call to them, it don't make sense. It doesn't make sense. I remember.
It don't make sense.
I remember, because we are visual beings. I remember at the national trials. If I remember correctly, it would probably be about 2014, right? And I saw her come out in a one piece zine, and so I wasn't even aware. No, a big woman beside me, she would have been probably in her mid-50s. She starts saying, wait, relax, what's your package? What package? What you talking about package? What? No, this is 55. Me I said to myself before this one, go take her Geritol. She talk about a Asava package. Right? A young girl who was 2 seasons before me, I said, boy, geez, I'm Asava body ready. And all of them, nobody was interested in what Asava was going to do on the track. All of these women were excited about Asava body, talking about them want to take him home, they want one night with him. So if they were responding in this way because him in a onesie and according to them in package printout and it look good and look like it can work, how on earth are you as a woman going to go out with a jar them out a door, you breast them out a door and say, I am free to dress what I want, but then not expect man to call me? It don't make no sense.
Absolutely. Yeah.
So make go to the gym thing, right? So as a principle, when I go gym, I just go and I work out, right? Because my focus, I want get the result. And when you get the result, then other things will follow. You don't have to make no argument. But anyway, you can know, right, when a woman come to the gym to look attention. When she pull up her yoga pants, still her front print out, say she come at gym not for work out. She come at gym for look bad. How on earth can you come to gym to work out and you pull up the yoga pants so far that the toe print out? You don't come gym for work out. Then don't be upset when man approach you and
because you have some
you can't do that. That's unrealistic. That is unrealistic.
But you have some pants where it just build away there.
No. Me I go gym for years. You know. Because you see 5 women. You see 5 women. And all of them have on the yoga pants, especially the textured one. And 2 of them, you see them dry it up almost to underneath them breast so that them front can print up. them have
You
an
know for your
agenda.
look.
So let us balance the thing. Let us balance the thing. Let us not
You
put
know
all
for
this
your look.
foolishness about I can dress any way I want, but at the same time, no man must call to me. That's foolishness. We're
Absolutely.
visual beings. We're
All right.
just
So
if a man we are short, or tight pants and he print out. Me hear the woman them get excited. It's the same principle. Well, Kims?
all right. So listen.
What
So
charm officer say?
all, huh?
More your charm officer. Charm gone.
Yeah, but Charm seem like she having some little internet trouble, so she'll come back
All right, Kems,
shortly.
hold on there a second, Kems. Wally
Uh-huh.
just make a good point, right? But I think the issue with it is that, generally as man, we have a look. Because me not go beat her in the bush. When I say a woman I road and yeah, then just like that, me I go look. Seeing? But the problem with it is that, yes, when a man go overboard and start steer now, that's the issue coming, because you have some man where then OD it, brother, and you might call to a woman and the woman not paying man, brother, just move on. You need to keep and walk her down and try harass her. Just move on, fam. You can just simply say to her, say, yo, you're looking nice today or something like that, and just simply move it. But you have
Yeah.
someone with them PP cluck right behind the woman, and that is where the
But
issue lies.
And,
all right.
and you
So
can't look and have nothing for say either. You can just look and keep it moving.
Correct.
Yeah.
But
well,
as I mentioned,
There's
Wally made a
nothing to
good
say
point
on
as
it.
well when Wally mentioned about the women as well, because women do the same thing as men. When women say a man and them thing print out, yeah, man, they have the package, yeah, and things like that. So it's not much different. Women do the same thing.
yeah, and that is and Charms. I want to get you in Charms. I know you have been you're jumping in and out, but I want to get you in because listen, I know that relationships that I've been in, I have been banned from wearing gray sweatpants. Right? I can't wear gray sweatpants out of the house. And listen, by no stretch of the imagination am I saying I have a package or anything like that. It's probably she don't want me to embarrass her because the thing too small and they can't see it. Or probably one of them things. But I've been banned from wearing
Stop
gray
that lie. Man
sweatpants.
who
See?
wear gray sweatpants. If you get banned from wearing gray sweatpants, you have a package. So you just tell the whole world so you have a package.
So Charms, come in now, Charms. Come in now, Charms. Wally just said that women go out there searching for attention at times. Some women, while them drop the tights all the way up here, so because they need, you know, the front for show up and all them things. Do you agree with Wally? And I want you to talk about the rape culture that they say that is in Jamaica. Do you agree that Jamaica have a rape culture? You mute, boss.
You mute, Charms.
Yeah.
Hearing me now?
Yes.
Okay, hi everyone.
Hello.
So, to tackle the rape culture first, I think we do have a rape culture, and it has been this way for a long time because it has not been dealt with. I don't think it has been dealt with or addressed in any way, shape, or form because you have you sometimes on I don't know if anybody follows TikTok, and sometimes you have trends, and it amazes me to see how many women have the same experience, whether it is with their fathers, uncles, brothers, neighbors, whoever, and it's that they have nobody to talk to, nobody believes them, or even if they believe them, nobody does anything about it. So we do have a rape culture, and it's covered up. I don't know if it's covered up or we're enabling them. I'm not sure what it is, but I feel like it has been here a long time, been around a long time, and it's not being addressed. And so it is moving on from generation to generation. To the issue of women dressing a certain way to get some attention, I do agree. In no way, shape, or form should a man um violate a woman's personal space. It doesn't matter what she's wearing, even if she's naked, he has no right to get physical with her. However, women sometimes the way we dress, we kind of attract a negative attention, so to speak. So these days, I remember someone sent me a picture the other day, and the young lady had on a mesh dress. It was completely mesh, and her nipples were out. They weren't covered. She didn't have, what they call them, nipple covers. There was nothing on it. So the holes that were in the crochet thing, her nipples were out, and she was at an event. Now, when you're like that and you're out and men are going to stare, they're going to look at you. And of course, you're going to now feel uncomfortable because I'm going to stare at you when I see you dressed like that. So you start to feel uncomfortable and then you start to cuss, oh, man, this and man, that, and whatever. But sometimes the attention we get and how uncomfortable men make us feel, it is how we attire ourselves. You can't go outside with your nipples out and not expect that somebody's not going to look. And you have some of them, they're going to say something and you're going to feel uncomfortable. Women are in mesh dresses now, in the way share dresses, and the thongs are showing and everything is out. And it's broad daylight. It's not like it's a nighttime event where if you're in the dark, people are not going to see. People are seeing. So sometimes I think we should take some of the blame for the negative attention that we get.
All right, and we don't even read that already. But listen,
I can
so
do Raj.
so PG, I want because I think Charm brought up an excellent point where she was saying that hey, sometimes and we have heard it. Sometimes you have females where the uncle touch them, right? And then she go and go tell her mommy and her mommy run her away, right? Her mommy run her away and say, we move from mess with that. Or sometimes them even afraid to talk because the uncle threatened them or the stepfather or whoever it is. We have heard about a million and one stories. So where that is concerned, PG, how do you think or what do you think could be so because we have seen now where females have come 16 years down the line, 20 years down the line. They're just now talking about what they endured and they had all that trauma to deal with up until now. So, is there anything that can be done about that? And is that also a thing that we facilitate as a part of the rape culture?
Uh, I don't know, I don't know how we're going to address that because it's not like we get to police who decide to have kids. And once we don't get to police that, then because if you aren't safe in your home in terms of telling your mother, telling your aunt that you have been hurt or you have been victimized and no one will believe you, then I just think these persons aren't supposed to be having kids in the first place. And we don't get to police that, so I don't know how we're going to address that part. I really don't know.
Okay. All right.
I think
Ryan,
the way to address that is with from an educational standpoint is that we need to teach these mothers that they need to listen to their kids. Irrespective of what it is, we have to make that forum very open. A lot of Jamaicans have the culture where we don't listen to our kids. Our kids come and talk to us about certain things, and we run with a picnic. We run them like them a dog. We don't have that open culture. So then when stuff like that come, the kids are afraid to come and talk to their parents about anything, and then the next thing it turn up, the picnic a breed. But if we had that open forum where the kid could have come and talked to us from day one, then we could have said, all right, then guess what? John touched my daughter and we are going to a police station.
yep.
And then we'll take it further. But we don't have that culture where we listen to our kids or let our kids have an open forum with us to be able to express how them feel and talk about things. It has to start there. So
No, but further to that, Felicia, what happened is that because I have dialogue with social workers, and what happened is that there are a lot of instances where the child has a rapport to express the issue to the mother, but the mother not going to take it on because it go mean she go lose the man, which means the
Exactly.
50 pack what she get a week time, the 30 grand fedora here, and the fat marks X for drive up and down, she will lose that. So you stay one side, and there are even cases where them even push the daughter on the man. So that's
Exactly.
another big part of it. That is entrenching the rape culture that we have. Mothers pimping out them 12, 13 year olds to the big old rusty man them.
that's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Ryan,
Uh,
Ryan, give me some insight. Give me some insight on this, on this thing about because Ryan Ryan have a philosophy, and I'm not trying to move away because we're about to have a, guest that is going to share, quote unquote story with us. However, Ryan has often said that he believes that the reason why certain things happen to females is because of a lack a lack of father figure, right? So Ryan, I would like if you could, do you believe that the quote unquote rape culture that we're talking about, do you believe that has anything to do with the lack of father figure in the household as well? You're mute, Ryan.
You mute, Ryan. You mute.
Oh, sorry, definitely. Because males are very important to the household and maintaining the standards of how a household is run and governed, because they are supposed to be the ones that lead. So I believe that when a woman, when a girl is growing up, having a father is very important. I mean, it goes for both genders, basically, but we're speaking about women now. So I believe that when a woman is growing up, um, a male, the father rather, should be central to her development so she can know exactly how a man is to treat her, what a man is not supposed to say to her, do to her, and those kind of things. So I believe that the father should be the protector and the one to teach her certain things. The role of a father is definitely important in the growing up of a daughter for me.
All right, so
Um,
Charms, I see you looking confused and Mr. Lawson is talking like you don't agree with him.
yeah,
Is there something you want to say?
it's not as I don't agree with him, but my question is, a lot of these rape victims, the person behind trauma is indeed the father. So then we are going to say the father figure in the home is supposed to be the protector. How do we explain it to these young ladies who their fathers are the ones who violated them? So
Wait,
that's the
wait,
part
wait,
where I kind of
Um,
agree to a certain extent, but not so much because it is the presence of a father figure in the house that's causing the problems.
wait,
Most of
wait,
the
wait,
Hold
wait,
on, let me
wait,
let me let me just explain. Let me
All right, go
explain
ahead,
that.
go ahead, Ryan, and then I chip in.
Um, I don't know what I agree with you to some extent as well, but I don't know what percentage it is in terms of the ones who, the males in the family who rape their um, family member. But based on what we hear on news and read in the media, it is mostly like stepfather,
Right,
uncle,
our cousin,
and
stepfather,
yeah, yeah. So
based on the feedback.
you do hear of fathers, but you rarely hear of fathers.
that's
If
the
you get what
thing
I'm saying.
because
So what I'm saying at the end of the day, at the end of the day, at the end of the day, for me, a man is the father for me is supposed to be there when the daughter is growing up to teach the daughter what to expect and not to expect from a man, and to be the one to protect her. You get me?
I mean, I get you. I understand. And as I say, I agree to a certain extent. But I think the reason why the ones that we hear on the news is because of the persons who are doing it. The ones who are molested by their fathers, most times it's hush hush. Trust me. If you even go on some of these social media sites and you see these threads and the young women that are women, not even young, from 50s, 60s, you name it, that are talking, it is their fathers, a lot of them. I was shocked when I saw it, and it's something that I've been following for a while, for the past couple of weeks. They have this thread on, especially TikTok. It's the fathers, but they're not. I don't know if it is to protect the father or protect the mother or whatever, but they're not speaking out. So I think that is why we do not hear about those cases.
No, no, man. I have interaction with social workers. So what you do have cases where fathers molest their daughters, but the majority, based on the feedback from the social workers. So this don't have nothing to do with news now. This is social workers. They say it is the stepfather or the uncle or the cousin. Those are the groups that are the main perpetrators. So you have biological fathers in there, but the majority is stepfather, uncle, and cousin. It's actually based on the feedback and the studies. It's very unusual when you have the biological father molesting their daughter. It happens. So we're not saying it doesn't happen, but we're saying that the majority of the cases is the stepfather, the uncle, and the
But
stepfather, uncle,
Wally,
and the cousin. But so which is why a lot of men who have their daughters are very uncomfortable with the stepfather situation because of that very reason. Sorry, go ahead, Kate.
yeah, so I have a question, Wally, and I think Chris Lynch just brought it up. So you're saying that if the stepfather is the quote unquote man in the household, wouldn't we quote unquote give him the father role? I'm just asking because I saw
No,
Christine say it, and I'm saying probably.
no. So unfortunately, how they see it is one, since it's not my biological daughter, this is somebody who is available to me to have sexual relations with. Unfortunately, really and truly, they should be, as a stepfather, be pretty much seeing any child under their care as their biological child. They should be seeing that light, but unfortunately, they don't see it that way. Boy, this woman that time with, boy, our daughter stay good, now me have to try her for her. And unfortunately, that is the mentality.
Okay. Charms, do you have any response to that?
Well, now that Wally has said it that way, I was looking at father figure,
Okay.
not
Oh no,
right.
man, father.
Okay, because that's what I was saying, the father figure in the home. So that's how I was, tying it in. Father figure is supposed to protect, but okay.
All right, so Charms, before I asked PG and I went in around and asked the room. So I guess I'm going to ask you now, in terms of the same rape culture that we're talking about, how how do we how do we start to try to put an end to it? How do we at least try? Because we can have the conversation here, it can be on there everywhere, but how can we realistically try and solve the problem?
Boy, it's a tough one because this is something that should start at home, where it's a safe space for the child to come out and say it to somebody, and then the authorities would come in. Because for me, in terms of what the authorities should do, I think the harshest punishment that they can dish out, it should life. As far as I'm concerned, rape a child, when you take away their innocence, that's a life imprisonment for me. That's what I think, in my opinion. But before we get to that stage, the issue is nobody is bringing it to the authorities. They're not going to go into the homes and assume that they're being molested. But when these little girls come out and they talk to their uncles, their moms, their dads, or whoever, nobody does anything. They brush it over, or them even go and them talk to the man, and then that's it. And then he moves on to somebody else. So you get me? It's like a chain of events. So he tries it at this house. You don't report him. You probably rough him up or beat him up and send him on his way. He moves on to the neighbor, and it continues. So nobody is really, taking it um to the police and seeing it through. Because I think if we actually were seeing more cases being reported, and we see where, listen, these people are getting 35 years life, whatever, I don't know if it would really stop some of these perverts. It's a mental thing as well. But I do think we probably would see a reduction in it. I don't even know, honestly.
All
It's
right,
a
Charms.
why it's so hard. It's the person, it's
Mm.
up to the individual, and I think it's a sick person that would find a child attractive sexually. So it's a sticky one, but yeah.
All right, and we are now joined by Jamaican sensation. How are you
Hi
doing?
guys, I'm good. So I'm streaming from like another time zone. It's Monday here where I'm at, so don't worry about that. So I'm a victim advocate in the army, right? So I go to school for this sexual assault and sexual harassment stuff. So this is like I have experience in this. So first, um, most of the stuff that you guys talking about like going to the gym and guys going after women, that's actually sexual harassment. People can actually go to prison, jail for these things. So the problem is we normalize certain things and make it okay. If we don't speak on it, then there's not going to be change. For change to happen is we have to do something. We have to do something. If we don't do anything, there can't be no change. We can't say, okay, we got to wait on this or this person. We have to change from ourselves, right? So, and then I think somebody talk about the stepdad in the home. I grew up with a stepdad, right? Me and my brother grew up with a stepdad, and I didn't have any problem with him. He treat me just like his own child. So we can talk about all of this stuff, right? But everybody have a responsibility. Somebody talk about the mother pushing the child to the guy. What the guy have a responsibility to protect that child also? We can't say, okay, the mother doing it. So what the guys are doing to protect that child? You understand? If a guy walk down the street and see a 16-year-old guy and say the girl want it, what are you doing? You should run that girl away or try to instill some knowledge into her or something of that form. We can't just say, okay, because this person doing it is okay. We have to make the change. You understand? We can't just sit around and be like, okay, this person do it or this person do it or this person do it and it's okay. No, we all have to do something. And just because society said it's okay doesn't mean we have to do the same thing. A person should be able to dress and go wherever they want in their own body and skin and don't feel uncomfortable. I just saw I want to dress. You just saw you want to dress and feel comfortable. If somebody decide to talk to you, they come to you. You encourage the situation. You encourage the conversation. If you don't want to talk to somebody, you don't want to call somebody. You can let them know that, look, I don't want to talk to you. If they come at you a certain way, you go, all right. Everything we talk about is like somebody can actually go to jail for sexual harassment. It's something that is very prominent in my job, right? It's really big. And for us to stop it, everybody have to come together. You can have people come and help you. You can bystanders. You can take yourself out of a certain situation, right? All right, go back to the first part of the show. If Jamaica have a rape culture, yes, we do, because we normalize things. Because back in the day, this is how we grew up and this is how we do things. No, we have to change. We have to be the change. We all grew up a certain way. I grew up in an also with my stepdad, my grandmother, and our whole community. My mom in the States, right? I don't know where my father at. But that never one day in my home I feel unsafe or in my community I feel unsafe because I have that community. We have to be that community for that change. We can't just walk and leave things by it is. If we don't change, there's not going to be a change. We live in a community. We have to protect our community. We see something, we speak up on it. We have friends, relatives, and people who do things that we don't like, and you just blow it off. No, we can't do that. We have to speak up. The children are our future, right? Some of you got kids, girls, boy, whatever. You wouldn't want nobody to do that, right? You got some male would treat a woman however they want to be treated, but they won't let their daughter or son get treated that way. They will kill somebody. So why are we allowed to happen to somebody else? Why are we doing it to somebody else?
So let me ask you a question, right? Because so you said that you're in the army and stuff, but I'll say this, and I don't know if it happened to you, but we could talk about it, right? When I made the transition from, for example, from Jamaica to the military, you see the sexual harassment thing, that was the biggest shock to me. Because, and again, I guess this is why we can say Jamaica have a quote-unquote rape culture, because what they call sexual harassment in the military is a daily thing in a Jamaica. Like this is where you just go.
Explain it.
All right. So say for example, now give you something. Say a girl a pass you, and you touch your bridge and you say, look on the girl there. That's sexual harassment. Right there, son. Easy cheesy. Just like that.
You serious?
That extreme.
I'm
serious.
serious as a judge, bro.
You can't
Bro,
cat call anybody like, oh, we do.
no,
You can't do that. That's
hell
like
no.
really bad.
You
You
get
can't do anything.
you can get kicked. You can get kicked out for that.
No, you can
In
go to jail for that.
so like when I went to the military, that was because they have a thing with them called SHARP, right? Sexual harassment, assault, blah, 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 right?
Just
So
me.
when I went there, that was the biggest surprise to me because I was like this is something that we take for granted, right? Because we see a woman, we will like her, we see a woman hold on the baby. Like all them little thing there, we can't do none of that. So I totally understand where she's coming from, where she's saying that. And I think a lot of Jamaicans who make the transition from Jamaica up to the military, a lot of friends I'm talk to, that is one of the biggest things we struggle with. Because this is just not something what we used to.
Quick question, Kim. So if
yeah.
you are interested, you see this person and you're interested in her, and you're interested in having a relationship with her. How do you go about making that sort of link or interaction?
So you raise your hand.
Raise your hand.
You raise your hand and say, "Excuse me, can I just have a minute of your time, please?" And
Okay.
there have to be a space between you guys, and you just ask so you are. You ask so you are ask about, and they take it this up. I mean, it's not so serious, but
It's
there's a
right.
thin line. There's a thin line between what you can do and what you can't do, and there's more things where you can't do. So you know,
So
sometimes.
to answer your question, right? Growing up, I always find it uncomfortable when people do it. Like I never like it growing up. I spent my entire life in Jamaica. So I left Jamaica, I came to America right before my 21st birthday. So I spent my entire life there, right? And I never like it. I always wonder why these grown ass people going after kids. And I always find it uncomfortable. You know, I grew up in a community where I was mostly male, and I was like one of those female who go and play football with everybody and everything. So I was like that female that the guys protected. That's how I grew up. I grew up with the protection of males. Like there's nobody could do or say anything to me, and I feel like afraid because I have a back of a whole bunch of male right there. And to this day, that's how it feels. So that's how I want it to be. I want it to be like everybody should be able to be safe to walk around and whatever. There's stuff that I do to rile up people just to get reaction of the males that bat me, just because I know they will do it, right? So I always feel uncomfortable about that. You know, what I was shocked about is that how easy it is for people to just go to jail for something that you just talking to them simple. Like sometimes you approach people like nicely and be like, hey, whatever, and then I'll be harassed. When you just asking to have a communication. That's what I was surprised about. Not the fact that you try
Absolutely.
to talk to somebody. It's the fact that all prominent people can just lie and say, hey, this person harassed me. And that's the thing.
So Charm, let me ask you a question. I want to ask you and Peter again. So, but you can answer first, Charm. Have you ever getting ready, whatever occasion you're going, whether you're going to work, party, beach, have you ever getting dressed and you'll be like, I can't wear this because boy, if I wear this, it will show up too much of this, and then the man them will just harass me and I just can't take it? Or you just, hey, I just put this on and just go because you know you're kind of used to, you know, you're gonna get the call in every now and then.
So funny enough, yesterday I wanted to wear, well, I wore a biker shorts and a top. So I had the option to tie the top, what do call it, tie strips, whatever you want to call it. So I had the option to tie the top, or if I leave it cover, it would cover my vagina. So I tied it at first, and then when I was walking past the store and I realized how much was printing, I pulled it out. But it was, I don't think I was thinking, oh, I'm going to be harassed. I just felt in terms of a verbal thing, but I felt like I would attract too much attention to myself.
Okay.
You know, they'd be looking at me. They won't be looking at my face, but they'd be looking down. So that's why it was just a me thing. Like I just felt like they would be looking at me and I would be attracting that. I pulled it out.
All right. PG, how about you?
Well, definitely. I have So at daytime, you probably feel like wearing a shorts because it's hot. You want to wear shorts to half a tree, or just or shorts mostly. And you just decide not to because it's daylight and you know everybody will be looking or everybody will be able to see you. So you just refrain because you can't take the attention. So I just refrain from it and I turn back and I put on a pants
Wow.
and I go
So
do my
Gio,
errands.
so Gio, you are here now, Gio. So tell me now, you know, you've heard the females talk and they say, man, you know, I have to turn back and put on a jeans. Like it's never supposed to be like that. Like no matter what kind of society, it's never supposed to be like that where women feel like say them can't wear a shorts and just feel comfortable in them shorts. So Gio, as a man, what can we do?
Well, what we can do still is like just not say none to them. And then again, you have to understand say this is something that is culture driven, and woman need to understand say have uh it have a way have to come off as regards to we're showing at the movie where the artists them sing bo. And then again I just them have to know say it's something where I got happen. It's something where them feel uncomfortable with, but it's something where I got happen. It's something where I got happen. There me never know what foot state now we can say it can be a step where you can make them stop it, because woman still a go dress half naked, man still a go call to them.
So so basically, are you saying this is just something we just have to adapt to? Whatever it is, we just have to adapt. Because, all right, I'm not going to say in America it doesn't happen. I'm not gonna say it don't happen, but it's very few and far between. You're rarely I see it happen to the magnitude where it's happening in Jamaica. So I think it's kind of unfair, Gio, for we say, boy, well, woman always a go dress half naked and man always a go call. I
So
think is
what
I think that
what we are gonna do? What we are gonna do? Is it a case where we are go carry to the court where the court system don't have a backlog of cases that go deal? You think them a go have time for a look a case like that? Them look on it as something minor, but deep down we know how woman feel. I'm state already, I say it again. A woman a
It's
go
actually
report,
before Parliament. It's actually before Parliament now, Gio.
yeah, woman a go females a go
The
report,
passing a cat call law is actually before Parliament right
yeah,
now.
female a
So
go
because
report.
something is being done. That's what I'm saying. Something is getting done.
And then, as I stated before, female is going to report something when them feel uncomfortable if the man is not their type. I'm going to continuously say that. They're going to report it when the man is not their type. If it's a man with them dream boy and them, if I them Ken Barbie and him call to them, once of them Ken Barbie, them now report it. And you guys are talking about, you guys hit a point where they're going to say, in the old soul, I know cases where stepfather not touch Pitney, them just have be stern because I feed them keep place, and Pitney go tell social workers say stepfather try molest them. So now if you look on it on two ways. It's not a case where they have a high volume of percentage, but it's a case where there are cases in Jamaica where they happen. Child go tell lies say stepfather try molest them. And the man not try molest them no. The man just put on him foot because him see we are coming in him house. But because the man talk, them go report, they tell social worker say, yo, them stepfather try molest them. So there's a lot of things where you have to look on it from both sides.
But Gio,
Yeah.
That's why the law have to be on both sides too, because you're gonna have
Yeah.
people who deliberately do stuff. The law can't be on one side. If the law be both sides, then everybody's supposed to be, rightfully punished for what they done. So if me go tell lie and you say you do something to me and they find that I was lying and I'm guilty, I'm supposed to be punished for that. Because if you were
absolutely,
found guilty, you're gonna be punished for that. So that's why the law
absolutely.
gotta be both sides. It can't just be one side. Because like female is wicked. Females are wicked piece of creatures. I ain't gonna take that back. We are a wicked creature. We do things just because. We can do things wherever, and because we know we're gonna get away with it. Everybody's gonna feel sorry for us most of the time, right? And then we do deliberately do stuff to hurt people because we know everybody's gonna male normally do this, so we're gonna believe the female.
Yeah,
And people
yeah,
do that. I see it happen. So
yeah.
if the law have to be both sides for us to be equal. And if you punish the people who tell lie, then everybody like, okay, I can't go tell lie, right? They got to
That's
come up with
true.
a different way, and then you have to go because people gonna change and find stuff. You know, that's it.
Yes.
A female
All
is
right.
wicked. The way how
So
Agreed.
female work is they think and
Eh,
come up with
eh,
stuff, man.
I don't know if
since
anybody would agree with me, but the law it's sticky because the law was not made in favor of men. If we want to be women
what?
win more times when it comes to especially sexual assault cases, women, even when it's a lie, the women tend to get the upper hand. If we want to be honest, the law is not always on the side of men, and most men don't get justice when they're wrongfully they don't.
And you really preempted me, Charles, because that is one of the critical issues why this will prevail, because you have instances where women lie, and then know, because these cases come out, what happen now when you have the real victim? Oh, Elisha Tillman, I chew him left her, and I chew him move on with him life. So that is one thing. And then the second thing is that I'm talking with persons in the legal field, judges and so on. They say that rape is one of the hardest things to prove. One of the
Mm.
hardest things to prove. Very, 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 very difficult. And a lot of times it
but,
comes down to a he said, she said, and
but
then as Charm says, sometimes depending on a lot of times it falls on the side of the women. So it really is a difficult situation because of that fact as well.
Wally, remember also add to this, right? If let us say, PG say Kim's raper, right? And let us say we'll go through the system, and at the end of the day, Kems is found innocent. Kems' reputation already mashed up, you know.
Right.
Exactly.
From PG
Exactly.
come out and say Kems raper. My
Exactly.
reputation,
James,
I'm already guilty.
Johnny
I,
Exactly.
I
said,
was just gonna quote a case some years ago. This where the guys were found guilty. I think it was somewhere in Mobile, and then later on they redo the case and they were found not guilty, and they were on news, and they said that them can't go back to them community because them
Them a
found
reaper
guilty
boy.
in the first
right.
instance,
All right, Ryan, was it the
and
case with
they
the
were
twin
both
brothers?
guilty. So imagine found guilty versus your situation, which is bad anyway. You're not guilty, however, the stigma is already on you. Oh, the boy a rapist.
Yeah, because
But
not everybody follow the story. Not everybody's gonna follow through to the end. So even when it's proven that you're innocent, you know how they go the chain of what you call it, Chinese telephone or whatever. Over here you're innocent, but by the time the story 10 years down the line, the story is you're a rapist. That's it, because
But
you were at one point, you are a rapist. When it gets down to a certain point, everybody's not gonna tell you it in its entirety. You're gonna get eventually it's just a piece of the story until when it reached 10 years down the line, yeah, are the raper boy.
Levon, I'm gonna get you in 1 second. But Charms, look at
Mhm.
this, Charms, right? When you say something up on your pre now, if a woman is accused of something, you know what you're gonna hear? Hold on, let us wait and make everything play out before we jump to any conclusions. Let us wait. But as soon as a man is accused, then we're guilty automatically.
Automatically, and then when it's proven that the men are innocent, they don't get the same energy that the woman gets when she came and she made that, oh, he raped me, and then when they find out that it's a lie, you don't get the same energy. The men are not, they're not given anything. It's just okay, it's just whatever. And if we want to the depth story, that whole thing, even if this case comes out in his favor, his reputation is forever damaged. There's nothing he can't come back from that.
Absolutely. Raj, Levon, go ahead.
my youth on the show, my name is Levon. When I'm in the comment section, it's Raj. Don't mix it up.
Go
But
ahead.
anyways, what I'm about to say, right, is that I've witnessed a situation like this, and I think our gender is guilty from a very young age, because I've been witness to where I see this little girl dancing in front of these two little boys, and the boy them literally run her go her yard, tries to go on, into her and then things are seen. No, it happened that she continue to do it. No, the grandmother come home and see she do the same thing, and I go cuss the two youth them, say why them back condone her doing all of that in front of them. Luckily, I was the witness, so I may have to tell the woman, say, yo, a long time them around the little girl, and the girl still continue to do whatever she was doing, and yet I two youth they get the blame. So from the youth them young, we're guilty. That's the thing, and they always think that image, and if you don't have a person there to actually witness what takes place,
Mhm.
you're doomed.
And
And
also, all right, go ahead. Sorry, go ahead.
right, man.
No, I'm not saying another thing I want to talk about. When we talk about, because as they talk about from a tender age, I am watching, like if I watch a video on Facebook, I'm gonna see a little girl a dance, not no more than 3 year old, and she know all of the moves them, and then you see big grown adults, 20, 25, I push the little youth them on top of the girl them, and they are doing their little stuff. I believe things like this are things that we have to really and truly try cut out, because they believe that these things are normal, and as they continue to grow older and older, then it's be like, well, I was doing this from I was 3, I was 2 years old. Why is it that I should change now?
And
And then
then again, Kim, right.
And then again,
Go
like
ahead.
we see kids do certain things at a young age, like baby age, and we thought it was cute, right? Behaving bad and all that stuff, and we normalize that, and then we laugh and video and all that stuff. And as the
Yep.
child grow older, they still do the same thing. And now you're trying to discipline the child for doing the same thing that you laugh about and have
Exactly.
fun about, and then you think the child is bad. No, you have to break it from that age and say, yo. You understand? You can't
Yep.
just try to discipline a child after everything get worse and then expect a change. You understand? We normalize all these things. We sit down and watch and be like, yeah, and it's normalized.
Yep.
But
Yep.
on the contrary, I'm here to defend the men, right? I am a victim. Reason why I said that. And I was probably 5 or 6 going to basic school and all these things. A regular, this girl next door, she was like about 25 thereabout. Every day this girl used to come wind up in front of me naked, right?
Yep.
I used to
Yep.
sat back, watch, and sometimes she would come a little, take my hands and put it wherever it's supposed to go,
Yep.
right? Now, fast
Yep.
forward and reach 20-year-old. This same woman I go look for me and call me a dog and all them things. Say, why? You bring me coming at the world like this now because you start push that thing for me from a 5 or 6. So I don't like to do any different. So why? Why you gonna look for me
Yep.
and call me that now? So at the end of the day, I think it's something that is done by both genders. Both genders are to be blamed for this.
Yep.
I agree with that 100%. Even with the same thing that Kim's was talking about, with the little girl dancing. You will see the mothers are pushing. Go on, go dance with them. You idiot boy, go on, go dance with them. I mean, I say, what is wrong with this woman?
Yep.
She lick her head or something. She
Yep.
don't see that is not appropriate for children. What is wrong with you? So really so I agree with Lemon 100% and Jamaican sensation 100% that it takes both genders to fix this problem, right? We
Yep.
kind of have to move from just saying, oh, the men are the villains, full stop, right? We have to say, okay, how can we collectively, address this problem? Because as long as one party only sees the other party as the problem, we're not going to fix the problem. We're not going to fix it. Because some of the things that I was having a discussion with a lady, and I was expressing my disgust at the taxi man and look the little schoolers. And a woman has said to me, boy, I don't understand. A woman, I said to me, say, I don't understand. Them young girl are prime. No. The responsibility is you
Yeah.
as a big grade tone
And
man. Run the pitney go to school. Or
Yep.
call here. You can't be as a woman be saying, boy, the pitney prime. So, and sometimes the man them weak. So you have to understand. No, nothing
but
there
you
for
see, and
understand with that.
Wally, that basically proves that the rape culture exists because that is trying to normalize men behavior that as a men steer and as a little girl fitness steer. So
Exactly.
they
Right.
try to use one to defend the other or to, I don't know, but it basically proves that it exists.
But boss, Wally, as you talk about that, you're giving me PTSD right now. When I was in high school, I could not get a high school girl. Could not. Guess why? My money
Big
done
man.
12 o'clock.
The
My
driver
lunch
them
money
go
done
them.
12
Friday
o'clock.
evening,
So the conductor them, the taxi man them, the driver them, they are all taking away. They are taking away our women because
yeah,
we
man.
have no
Schoolboy
money to
money
give
done for
them.
Friday evening, brother.
We can't give them any free. We can't give them the free drive. Remember, I used to see Jamaican teenagers fight for the matey seat in the coaster bus. You know the
Yes, that
matey
was
seat.
so
Yeah,
crazy.
yeah,
That was so crazy.
The matey seat and the seat where you sit down right beside the driver for
the
those
Right
who
driver.
don't
beside the
know.
gear stick there, so.
I see girl come to blows for that seat there. That
Well, you
seat
know
there.
why? Because you know, so when man a change gear, you know, and if you rub up and leg and all these things, you know, so yeah, man, that's why the fighting go on for that.
Two seats
But
I see them fight for. And probably Charms probably can. I'm not saying Charms sit down in a matey seat, but Charms associate with persons who know what is going on, right? So Charms, you have two seats for the woman and fight over. The matey seat right beside the driver, and you have a little middle seat right there, so where they're directly behind the driver's seat right there, so. Them two seat the woman all Holy Childhood, Wolmer's, St. Hughes, you name it. And I say, why is it that I can't get a high school girl? But I them thing are gone. Charms.
on the contrary, though, you know,
Mm-hmm.
I
And
heard Ryan talk about the availability of father in the also, right? But then I
Yeah.
look at it from this standpoint. You notice that in single homes, when a mother alone bring up a kid and that kid is all successful, be a doctor, and all these big career path, she celebrated. Oh yeah, big single mother, and she brought up to all this success. No, yes, when that child turned out to be free. No, yes, oh, it's because a father is missing why this child doesn't reach where
Big
this reach.
big point.
Yet, when none of them not available, when the father is not available and the success come, mother alone get the praise. So I think accountability is part of the issue with
Mm.
our
Mm.
True.
entire
Never
generation.
thought about it that way. That's a good point.
We fail
True.
to
Yeah,
hold
yeah,
ourselves
yeah, yeah,
accountable
yeah,
and
yeah.
accept. You see,
Totally agree.
ego is the
Mm-hmm.
downfall of majority of us. You see, because we always want to be in the right. Nobody want to accept that, oh, I'm wrong. I will take the correction and move on.
And to add to your point, Twin Levon, if you ever notice from Father's Day, just wait, Father's Day coming up, just look out for the mothers them.
I
I
don't
say,
even know
hey,
about that.
hey, hey, I am a mother and a
Mother
father,
and
and
a
we should be
father.
celebrated on Mother's Day and Father's Day. But then, when okay, if you want to be celebrated on those days, when it's time to do both responsibility, don't complain. Don't come,
Facts.
oh,
Exactly,
boy,
exactly.
where you walk this pooper there. Oh, because you now know where you walk. Listen, I mean,
You know,
there's a broken system we have out here, man, in many different
Yeah, we're
ways.
not hearing you.
you know the problem is to there's we always see what the mothers do, but there's fathers who are single fathers out there who have been doing a great job, who did a great job, but nobody celebrate them. It's like they have to beg. Like I grew up, my stepfather pretty much grew me from a young age. My mom sent money and come visit once in a while, but pretty much he grew me, right?
Yep.
He grew me up and my brothers. And I can attest, like, he did his job. I wasn't his kid. Me and my brother was
Sensation. Sensation, let me tell you. You see, when a father do that, you know what is being said? Why does he want to be celebrated for doing what he's supposed to do? That is what them
that's
say
my
about the
point.
father, them. That is
That's
what
my
they say about
point.
the fathers. But the mothers, though, no, you're not going to say that about the mothers. The mothers must be put on this high horse. And
Yes,
listen,
sir.
and I'm not saying that the mothers are not great. I am not saying that. But as Levon said, we have to have some accountability. We have to have some balance.
You
We
have
just have
some
to.
deadbeat mothers out there just like the man them too. Deadbeat and
Facts.
then worse too.
I've
Worse.
never,
Worse.
I've
All
never,
them do I sit down on the street and chat people this and call and she pass. That them do. Them do.
well,
Facts.
Just
hey,
as bad.
as it relates to social media, I have never seen one of those deadbeat mothers, me personally. But deadbeat fathers, I've seen a lot. But the
I have
deadbeat
seen
mothers,
mothers
them, I
as well.
can't see them.
I've
I
seen
can't see
them.
them at all. All right, so we're about to wrap up now, So anybody
Yeah.
have any
Can I
last
just
words? Yeah,
can
Ryan,
I
go ahead.
also point out something that we really overlooking here is the trauma that women bring into relationships. Because I know of women who said that it's hard to connect to a man because of what they have gone through in the past. Like if a guy try touch them a certain place or touch them a certain way or say certain things to them, they get back PTSD and they are traumatized and so forth. So a lot of them say it's hard for them to connect with
Big
a guy
point.
in a relationship.
Big point. Big point, Ryan. Big point. And I think this is where I want to ask the females. And Charms, I'll start with you, right? So I won't tell you the guy, right? But there's guys out there where they're either ready to have coitus with a female or to get in some sexual relations, and then the woman start cry, right? The woman start crying mainly because what Ryan mentioned about PTSD. They remember, oh, probably the stepfather did this, probably the uncle did this, probably the brother did this, or the cousin. In that situation, chance, and I know, we're really simulating here, but in a situation like that, really and truly, what should the man do?
Oh my God. That's sticky. Provide comfort, I think. That's all he can do. What else is there? It's just maybe to listen. So if she's willing to talk, listen and provide some form of comfort, because I don't think there isn't much that he can do. And to add to that, sometimes it's not only rape, as in forcible, sex or whatever, but sometimes, especially with these young girls who go, they run away and they run and they're staying with these big men. You're young. You don't even understand that he's taking advantage of you. And then it's when they get, and then society's like, oh, they don't blame the men. No. You look a girl, she just bad. But when they get older, they realize that something was wrong with it, and they're affected by it. And so they bring those things into their relationship, because when they get older and they sit down, they're like, you know what? I was so young. He took advantage of me. Instead of protecting me, he preyed on me and did whatever. And they bring those things into the relationship, and sometimes it's unfair to the man, because he's being blamed for something he has absolutely nothing to do with. And he's probably, some men, they try to do as much as possible to be comfort her as much as possible, but there isn't much they can do. To me, it's therapy. That is it. It's therapy, because there's nothing the man can do, and you can't. Nobody can heal you but yourself. So the man, nothing he's gonna do or say is gonna make it better for the woman. If she's traumatized to that point where she's touched, she's gonna cry. To me, it's therapy. That is the best thing the man can do for her, is encourage her to speak to a
All right.
professional. Because,
So,
So
yeah.
Charm.
so Weekend, let me just ask one quick question. So on the
All
same
right.
point, Charms.
Mm-hmm.
So should the man then not bring up the topic of sex until she gets that counseling based on that sort of experience?
Oh, in a relationship, it's hard to say. I don't want to say yes and I don't want to say no, but it would be up to whatever it is they have going. Because if it is that every time he touches her, she's gonna cry, I would leave her alone. I would be turned off. Because then it's gonna be, I don't know what I can do. I don't know. For the man, I'm thinking it's, you don't know what is okay to say or to do. If it's okay to touch her on her knee or rub her shoulders, so it puts the man in a difficult position. So for me, I would really just leave it
Because
alone.
to add to that as well, Charmin, because there have been situations where, all right, the guy tries, then she start cry, and then the woman tell herself, say, hey, I have to get over this. Let's try again. But then you try again, and she cry again. But so it's like she wants to get over it, but she can't. In a moment like that, Wally, to the question where you asked, I think at that point you have to say, hey, it's gonna come in like, but no, you stuck between a rock and a hard place, because do you really want to leave a woman in a space where she's not 100% mentally? You don't know if you really taking yourself out of that situation can kind of put her into deeper depression. So you're kind of like stuck and like, all
Yeah.
right,
But then
should
she's
I?
not, but you see, in that instance, she's not ready for a relationship, because sex
She's
is a
not.
part of the relationship. And if you cannot get to that point, then you are not ready for a relationship. So you need to fix what's broken in you.
Amen.
You have to fix it, but you can't go. And then when the man decides that, listen, this is too much for me to handle. I care for you, but I just feel like you need to get help. You can't be angry at him, because sex is an important part of a relationship. And if you cannot do that because of whatever unfortunate thing happened to you, the man has a right to choose to walk away, but you have to fix yourself. You are not ready for a relationship. That's my
Absolutely. Preach
opinion.
it, Sister Charms. Preach it,
They
Sister
can't blame the
Charms.
man and say, all you do want is sex. That's all on the man stay.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
It's a natural part of it. How are we going to be in a relationship? What are we doing? We're going to sit down and sing Kumbaya and listen to you, watch you cry and talk over and over. I can't help you. I don't know what to tell you. I wasn't trained in that department. I can provide a little comfort, but I cannot help you. The help that you need, I cannot provide it. And it's unfair to ask a man to stay and deprive himself of something that he can get elsewhere. because you are going through something and nobody knows when you're going to get over that.
Absolutely, absolutely. PG, you've been very quiet. You're just taking in, you're just
I
taking
don't
in
even
everything.
think there's nothing to add to what Charms is saying because I agree to what she's saying totally. You need professional help. At that point, if you're crying to the point of tears when you're touched, you need professional help. That man can't help you, and sex won't help you either. He probably will have to assume the role of a friendship if he wants to be by her side while she goes through it. Or if he can't see her through it, then he has the right to move on. But
Oh,
she
so
needs help.
all right, so let us talk about that a little bit because we're going to run now. Next 2 minutes are gone. But is it no? Because boyfriend. No, take boyfriend as husband, girlfriend as wife, right? So in that situation, is it now the man's responsibility to at least because it can be said that because he was trying to get sex, it kind of trigger her trauma. So can we now say now it's his responsibility to kind of offload some of that trauma instead of just leaving just
I
like that? Because listen, let us be honest. PG Charms and Jamaica Sensation, right? Let us be honest. If the guy just leave like that, I'm not sure if Uno are gonna do it, but a lot of these millennial and Gen Z women going to them group chat. Can you believe the dirty boy just left me? The dirty boy just want a little sex. Him can't get the
okay.
sex and the dirty boy just gone. You no one to talk to them thing there on a little group chats them.
I mean, I'm not saying he's supposed to be insensitive about the situation, say something. Okay, you're going through this. Bye, we can't talk anymore. This is it for me. This is too much. Like you can't approach the situation like that. You
Hold
have to be
on, but
patient
why? Why we can't approach it like that?
because it's a sensitive issue.
It's
It's sensitive. It's sensitive.
not like we're
It's a
saying you must,
It
sensitive
is a
issue.
sensitive. It's a sensitive issue for you, but we don't want to be a part of it.
yeah, but right, it's not just it's not that
No,
we're
I'm
saying
not.
you have to be part of it,
I
but
think
it's
what she's saying is to be empathetic towards
right.
what
Exactly.
you have gone through.
Exactly.
So to just be like, okay, I'm done. That's harsh.
Versus
Yeah,
nonchalant.
that's very
Like,
hard. You have to be
Be
empathetic.
nurtured.
exactly.
That's what I was saying. Give her a little comfort and encourage her to listen. Her,
Right.
you want to speak to a therapist. I can help you connect you with somebody. You don't have to want the relationship, but it is how you go
Mm.
about. You can ease her into, encourage her to see a therapist, whatever, blah blah blah. But to just be like, listen, me can't do this. I'm done. That's harsh.
I listen.
Exactly.
I'm just playing quote unquote devil's advocate, but I know that there are men out there who they just can't deal with all of that trauma. They just can't deal with the empathetic side, and they just say, "Hey, man, this is too much for me. I'm out."
And no one is asking you to deal with the trauma because I'm saying she needs a professional. But if you can't just be human in that moment, nobody's
Yeah.
saying you're supposed to stick around for 3 months, a year. Like, just show some empathy in that moment. Or if she needs support, like, why wouldn't you even offer some, like, just being human in the situation? That's all I think is necessary at this point. Not for you to become her counselor, hold her hand, carry her to counseling, cry, dry her tears. You don't have to do all of that, but just express some empathy in the situation rather than being insensitive about it.
All right, all right. So we're gonna leave it there for tonight. Next week we're gonna pick up back here. So before we go into the next topics, then because obviously this topic can go on for the rest of the year because there's just so much to talk about it. But Levon, Ryan, Sensation, Charms, PG, Wally, Gio, who was here, Felicia, obviously, thank you guys so much. People in the comment section, people who were watching but not commenting, thank you guys so much. On another episode of our podcast. And I see Felicia talking about guys need to go and get penis pump. You guys can continue that conversation elsewhere. But we're about to log off. So thank you guys, and we'll talk next week.
All right. Oh, respect everybody.
Yes,
Uh,
sir.